Hello everyone, this is Science Vines and you're watching the audiovisual chapter of class 11th biology. This is the second part of the chapter 5 morphology of flowering plants, and we are starting off with the leaf. The leaf is a lateral, generally flattened structure borne on the stem. It develops at the node and bears a bud in its axil. The axillary bud later develops into a branch. Leaves originate from shoot apical meristems and are arranged in a acropetal order. They are the most important vegetative organs for photosynthesis. Now, what does acropetal order means? Acropetal order means that the smaller or the newer leaves are coming towards the apex. The older one is behind, then the newer, and then the newest leaf is grown. So a typical leaf consists of three main parts: leaf base, petiole and lamina. Leaf is attached to the stem by the leaf base and may bear two lateral small leaf-like structures called stipules. In monocotyledons, the leaf base expands into a sheath, covering the stem partially or wholly. In some leguminous plants, the leaf base may become swollen, which is called the pulvinus. The petiole help hold the blade to light. Long, thin, flexible petioles allow leaf plates to flutter in wind, thereby cooling the leaf and bringing fresh air to leaf surface. The lamina or the leaf blade is the green expanded part of the leaf with veins and veinlets, which is known as the midrib. Veins provide rigidity to the leaf blade and act as channels of transport for water, minerals and food materials. The shape, margin, apex, surface and extent of incision of lamina varies in different leaves. Now look at the structure of a leaf. A is a parts of leaf where there is labeled as axillary bud, stipule, petiole and lamina. B is reticulate venation and C is a parallel venation type. Reticulate is in the dicots and parallel venation is found in monocots. Now let's talk about the venation as well. The arrangement of veins and veinlets in the lamina of leaf is termed as venation. When the veinlets form a network, the venation is termed as reticulate. When the veins run parallel to each other within a lamina, the venation is termed as parallel. Leaves of dicotyledonous plants generally possess reticulate venation, while parallel venation is the characteristics of most monocotyledons. Types of leaves. A leaf is said to be simple when its lamina is entire or when incised. The incisions do not touch the midrib. When the incisions of lamina reach up to the midrib, breaking it into a number of leaflets, the leaf is called compound. A bud is present in the axil of petiole in both simple and compound leaves, but not in the axil of leaflets of the compound leaf. The compound leaves may be of two types. In a pinnately compound leaf, a number of leaflets are present on a common axis. The rachis which represents the midrib of the leaf as in name. Figure 5.8 compound leaf. A is pinnately compound leaf and B is palmately compound leaf. An example, you can see A is of neem, B is of silk cotton. Now in palmately compound leaves, the leaflets are attached at a common point, that is at the tip of petiole, as in silk cotton. Now phylotaxy. Phylotaxy is the pattern of arrangement of leaves on the stem or branch. This is usually of three types: alternate, opposite and whorled. In alternate type of Phylotaxi, a single leaf arises at each node in alternate manner, as in China rose, mustard and sunflower plants, which you can see in figure 5.9a. China rose is an alternate type of Phylotaxy. In opposite type, a pair of leaves arise at each node and lie opposite to each other, as in Calotropis and guava plant, which you can see in figure 5.9b. If more than two leaves arise at a node and form a whorl, is called whorl, and as in Alstonia, which you can see in figure 5.9c. Now, modification of leaf. Leaves are often modified to perform functions other than photosynthesis. They are converted into tendrils for climbing as peas or into spines for defense as in cacti. Okay, and the fleshy leaves of onion and garlic store food. In some plants such as Australian acacia, the leaves are small and short-lived. The petioles in these plants expand, become green and synthesize food. Leaves of certain insectivorous plants such as pitcher plant, Venus flytrap are also modified leaves. Look at the figure 5.10, modification of leaf for A support tendril, which is example of P. B is protection spines, which is in the cactus B diagram, and C is a storage kind of a thing, fleshy leaves in the onion or the Allium cepa. Now the inflorescence. The flower is a modified shoot wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. Internodes do not elongate and the axis gets condensed. The axis produces different kinds of floral appendages, laterally at successive nodes instead of leaves. When a shoot tip transforms into a flower, it is always solitary. The arrangement of flowers on the floral axis is termed as inflorescence. Depending on whether the axis gets developed into a flower or continues to grow, two major types of inflorescence are defined: racemose and cymose. In racemose type of inflorescence, the main axis continues to grow. The flowers are borne laterally in an acropetal succession. In cymose type of inflorescence, the main axis terminates in a flower, hence is limited in growth. The flowers are borne in a basipetal order. So if you look at the diagram, 5.11 is a racemose type of inflorescence in which the main axis continues to grow and the new flower are born in an acropetal succession. And if you look at the figure 5.12 is a kind of a cymose inflorescence where the flower is born at the end of the main axis. Now the flower. The flower is the reproductive unit in the angiosperms. It is meant for sexual reproduction. A typical flower has four different kind of whorls arranged successively on the swollen end of the stalk or pedicel, called thalamus or receptacle. These are called calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Calyx and corolla are accessory organs, while androecium and gynoecium are reproductive organs. In some flowers like lily, the calyx and corolla are not distinct and are termed as perianth. When a flower has both androecium and gynoecium, it is bisexual. A flower having either only stamens or only carpels is unisexual. In symmetry, the flower may be actinomorphic or radial symmetry, or zygomorphic bilateral symmetry. When a flower can be divided into two equal radial halves in any radial plane passing through the center, it is said to be actinomorphic. Example: mustard, datura, chili. When it can be divided into two similar halves only in one particular vertical plane, it is zygomorphic. Example: pea, Gulmohar, bean, cassia. A flower is asymmetric or irregular if it cannot be divided into two similar halves by any vertical plane passing through the center of, as in canna. A flower may be trimerous, tetramerous, or pentamerous when the floral appendages are in multiple of 3, 4, or 5 respectively. Flowers with bracts, reduced leaf found at the base of the pedicel are called bractate, and those without bracts ebractate. Based on the position of calyx, corolla, and androecium in respect of the ovary of thalamus, the flowers are described as hypogynous, perigynous, and epigynous. Hypogynous flower, the gynoecium occupies the highest position while the other parts are situated below it. The ovary in such flower is said to be superior. Example: mustard, china rose, and brinjal. If gynoecium is situated in the center and the other parts of the flora are located on the rim of the thalamus, almost at the same level, it is called perigynous. The ovary here is said to be half inferior. Example: plum, rose, and peach. In epigynous flowers, the margin of the thalamus grows upward, enclosing the ovary completely and getting fused with it. The other parts of the flower arise above the ovary. Hence, the ovary is said to be inferior, as in flowers of guava and cucumber, and the ray florets of sunflower. Let's look at the diagram 5.13, in which A is a type of a hypogynous flower diagram. B and C is a kind of a perigynous diagram, and D is of the epigynous. So in A, the ovary is superior. In B and C, the ovary is half inferior, and in D, the ovary is inferior. Here comes the end of the second part of the morphology of flowering plants. Class 11th Biology. To watch more such videos, do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you don't miss any video. And if you want us to create more such videos on any other book or subject, do mention in the comment section. Please like and share the video to keep us motivated to create such content. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye. Love.